One nut, scientifically known as the macadamia, is a tree that bears the macadamia nuts. These evergreen trees stand to grow tall to a height of 2 to 12 meters. Planted on acres of land, their fruits are harvested when ready and taken to the processing industries for value addition.
We get our nuts from Central Province, Eastern, and also part of Coast Province. That is Taita, Machakos, Nyeri, Embu, Meru, and Kirinyaga. So then we bring nuts to our factory where we receive them at the receiving point. We weigh the nuts first, and then from weighing the nuts, we start washing them. We have a machine for washing. We put our nuts to the dryers. From the dryers, we dry the nuts up to a moisture level of 52 degrees centigrade. While the boiler is running at a hot temperature of about 80 degrees to 90 degrees, then the water flows into heat exchangers, which gives hot air that rises up to 52 degrees centigrade. After we remove our nuts from the dryer, we take them to the grader. Where we grade the nuts into sizes from 1 up to 12. We have nuts into sizes. After grading, we take them into the machine where we do the weighing because of the moisture temperature that it incurred when it was drying. We dry our nuts up to below 2%, and the more you dry the nuts, the sweeter the nut it is. We crack our nuts. We have our cracker where we crack the nuts into sizes according to the grader. From there, we take our nuts to a sorting room where, first of all, before sorting, we wash your hands, sensitizing the floor, everything. We wash and make sure everything is clean, and then we take our nuts up to the sorting room. From the sorting, that is where the ladies sort out the shells from the kernels. Then they take the kernels, the shells, they take them to the boiler. There's a hopper that is there in the corner where we put the shells, and then the other nuts, we take them to the main grading, where now the ladies separate now the moldy nuts, immature nuts, insect damage, all those sort of things, and also maybe some shells which have been left. Then from there, they go to the QC where we do the final grading, where we check them, the big holes, halves. But mostly it depends on the client that you're having. He might like from style 0 up to style 9, or maybe he needs just 2 styles, maybe style 1 and style 4. But most of the clients nowadays, they are requesting for styles 4, which are halves and holes mixed like that. So from there, we also make sure our nuts are very clean. We sieve with a sieve. We make sure our things are clean. We pack them nicely into 5 kgs. We put our nitrogen gas. It helps us in shelf life, and later we vacuum. We make sure that every packet is packed nicely and vacuum packed. From there, we take our nuts to the store, where we also keep them for 12 hours to check whether there is any that is losing vacuum. Then if there is any, the next day we repair it, and then we put them into boxes. In international standards, they like a package of 11.3 kilos. We can process about 3 tons in a day. So let's say within a week we have already completed that dry. So we'll know that batch, we bought it from this day, we have cracked it on this day, and even the time of packing, you are labeling that these nuts have been processed, was dried from this day, and are packed on this day. So you'll be able to do your traceability from the beginning to the end. We do market our nuts, Europe, China, Australia, USA. You'll find clients from all over. But right now, we are targeting our market in Germany and USA.
macadamia is a very lucrative commodity, and this is because of by virtue of its nature as a dessert. And what is becoming more of an issue is the amount of macadamia that is being grown. Looking at the processing facilities that are around currently at about 15, the demand for the macadamia is very high. And because the production cannot be able to meet the demand by the processing facilities, then there seems to be a struggle. Macadamia was basically introduced into the country in the early 70s. And then through the efforts by JICA, the revitalization and the expansion of the macadamia growing was actually initiated. And currently we have a lot of macadamia being grown in the central and a bit in western, a bit in the North Rift, but mainly in the central region of the country. We also have some macadamia in the coastal region, basically in Taita Taveta. And this is because the weather in Taita Taveta is more or less similar to the weather in the central bit of the country. The economic value of the macadamia currently is about 1 billion. And we've been having a lot of value addition in terms of processing, unlike the other products. There is a lot of processing, though still we have a bit of exportation of raw nuts, but that is actually prohibited, and the law doesn't allow raw nuts to be exported outside the country. And that is basically to encourage value addition in the country. Through that, then you can be able to, of course, generate more jobs and more opportunities for the people. Currently, the biggest demand for macadamia, unfortunately or fortunately, is the external demand. Most of our macadamia is exported to the US, to Germany, Japan, and China. The local consumption is there, but still very low. In fact, it's less than 10%, if any. And that's why we are also trying to encourage local consumption, because you know, if the local demand is there, then of course we avoid a lot of exportation and all that. But currently the local consumption is also coming up, because we've been trying to sensitize the people on the health benefits. So at least the consumption of macadamia is currently coming up. Like nowadays, when you board the plane, you'll find the nuts that are being served is actually a mixture of macadamia and cashew nut. So that's a step forward. Macadamia can really offer a lot of job opportunities. Most of the setups that we are having currently, they're about 19, but the registered ones are about 15. And you'll find one processing facility employs over 100 people. This is mostly at the stage of sorting and all that. And though most of the people engaged in these facilities are women, but still, those are job opportunities that are being offered. What we are encouraging, especially the players in the chain, when it comes to value addition, for macadamia we're not having a challenge, because in fact more processing units are coming up. The challenge that we do have is really to be able to produce enough raw macadamia to meet the demand of all these processing facilities. There are two aspects here. There is the aspect of production and the aspect of productivity. You can have 10 macadamia trees, but maybe the production is maybe 5 tons per tree. But you can have 5 trees, but the production is over 20-30 tons per tree. And that's why we talk of good agronomical practices involved in the growing of the macadamia, so that at the end of the day you can be able to have adequate raw material for all these processing units that are coming up. So the most important thing is to encourage farmers to grow more, and that's why we are intending to enhance our seedling program, because currently we have a seedling program of a target of distributing about 100,000 seedlings every year. But we intend even to double that, so that we can be able to enhance the population of the macadamia, and that way then we enhance the volumes of the macadamia that can be made available to the processing units. This can also be achieved by trying to explore the potential areas within which macadamia can be grown. And that's why currently macadamia used to be associated with the central Kenya, but you'll find now you've got macadamia in Bungoma, you've got macadamia in North Rift, and more areas will be brought into the growing of the macadamia as a crop.
After the processing and value addition, macadamia nuts are used in the making of hair products such as shampoos and hair foods. These nuts are known to produce the best dessert served in planes, hotels, and you can also have some at your home.